if you have a broker that calls you up that doesn't have discretion, say, I bought this for you, I think it would be good. Without that discretion, you have a real issue, and you need to immediately bring it up with your brokerage firm. Misrepresentations and omissions. Why would a broker make misrepresentations? First, commissions. Next, reliance upon what the information is provided by a brokerage firm or outside vendor. This happened in the 1990s with limited partnerships and currently happened today with auction rate securities, where the brokers essentially were relying to you what they believed to be true, but the underlying comment that was made to them from some third party or the brokerage firm was not. Belief in the investment, projection, once again. I'm sure Georgia people would have appreciated that they thought they should have beat University of Florida. It doesn't make a difference. If they fall in love with the stock, sometimes human nature is that they will pretend or not pretend or agree or think that their opinion now becomes fact, and that is a concern. Sharing profits and selling away. If a broker says to you, we'll share the commissions, I'll give you back some of the commissions, or we'll share your losses, or I'll share your gains, it's immediate time to run for the hills. They're not allowed to do that. Selling away is even worse. That's when the broker says to you, we're not going to discuss it with my branch manager's brokerage firm, but I got this great investment. It's outside the brokerage firm. We won't tell anyone about it. Just come with me. Once again, then be very skeptical. Government and regulation. That's a gentleman wearing a horse blinders, by the way, which oddly enough was really easy to find on the internet. But in the past, act upon what they know. They're reactive. In the present, despite their good intentions, they still only get to act upon what they know. They're reactive. What are they doing? They're increasing scrutiny upon those they already regulate. They're reviewing old case files. In fact, the Illinois office for the SEC decided to go back and review the last 10 years of case files, and out of 2,000 files made the determination that they made the right decision on every single one. They still cannot know what they do not know. I'd like to stop here for 1 second and tell you, I guess, a personal thing about this. We've all seen the failures of certain individuals at the SEC, and especially the last week or two, we've witnessed the notes. You should not indict a whole organization, frankly, because of a few bureaucrats who made a mistake. I can tell you for personal experience, with me here today, from my office is Nisha Wright, an attorney, but also is my father, Jack Stein, who is an attorney in my office and partner, who worked for the SEC for 10 years from 1972 to 1982. And next to him is Charles Harper, who worked for the SEC from 1972 to 1995, who ran the Miami office. I remember as a child, my father working all day on Saturdays, trying to prepare cases, coming home and working all evening, trying to prepare cases. It doesn't excuse what the SEC missed, but on the same time, it shouldn't allow to indict the whole thing. The shame of it is, and the odd thing is, it's the exact opposite of what we're here today with the mayor and the town council and a lot of the city employees to go and look. We're so gotten used to you being exemplary in your jobs that we project that the federal government will do the same. And unfortunately, that's not the case. But you look at it and you know there are thousands of attorneys and investigators at the SEC, but unfortunately, a few dozen of them completely missed the boat. And yes, that caused great and irreparable harm. Okay, so let's say we're concerned about the affinity fraud now. We have something that we're concerned about. What do you do? First, go speak to another investment professional. Go speak to your accountant. Go speak to another broker. Go speak to your trust advisor. Refer it to the industry regulators. I know we just discussed their failures. However, tell them what they do not know. And if they ignore you, take it above them and go to their boss. And if they ignore you, take it above them and go to their boss. They will, when they realize there's an issue, act upon it. The issue is getting them to realize the issue. Each of you are individual investors with unique objectives and risk tolerances. So here's what I want you all to do with regard to your investing in the future. Ask your financial advisor, and just as important, listen to the answers. When you deal with young lawyers and depositions and hearings, they'll ask a question There'll be the most wonderful answer in the world that they can follow up on, and then what do they move? They move to the next question. So listen to the answers and make sure they make sense to you, and ask these questions. Why is this investment suitable for me? How much can I possibly lose? Am I adequately diversified? Are you recommending this to all of your clients? Some of your clients? Why the difference? What is your understanding of my account objectives? What is your understanding of my risks? I have to figure out how to do that better. Carefully review your opening account documents. For the last 20 years, every time you opened a brokerage account, you were required to fill out a form. And on that form, it usually has sections for your objectives and your risk tolerances. I'm willing to bet a lot of people can't remember what they are, and also those change over time. 20 years ago, when you were still earning an income, your position may have been that you were not risk adverse, that you were okay to take a risk. Now you look back and you're not. And just as important, never sign a stack of documents just because anyone puts it in front of you. Read your account statements. I meet people all the time who then hand me the account statements and said, what did this mean? And they look at me with a blank stare. If you don't understand what's on your account statements, anything could happen to you. So read them. And if you don't understand, bring it to the broker and say, I don't understand this, explain this. And if the broker doesn't give you an answer that satisfies you, go to the branch manager. And if the branch manager doesn't, go to the compliance department. All large wire firms have 20 levels to go up and ask these questions. And if you don't get a satisfactory answer at the end, then go speak to another broker to show them your account statements and say, what do you think about this? It's human nature to try to put a timeline on something, especially things that are painful, and say, that was a terrible day at work, or I had a tough week with my wife. I didn't, Jamie. Or boy, this has been a horrible year financially. We want to do it. But when it comes to financial fraud, you can't allow that to happen. You always have to be cognizant. You always have to worry about it in the future. With these elements, though, and the things that you've learned today, use those in making that determination. And that way you'll never let anyone take advantage of you again. Thank you.